guys, so I'm back here in my garden and I'm here to tell you today about the second section of 3 on my channel, and that is about me living a little bit more simply. So just to start off, what I think simplicity is about, for me at least, is about trying to look at what I'm doing in life and see if I can get rid of anything unnecessary that's getting in the way of doing things that I really enjoy and really like to do. This might sound quite familiar to what some of you might know as minimalism, but I like to make a distinction between these two terms, simplicity and minimalism. And the reason I want to do that is because I think that the words we use in everyday life and the terms that we use, they can have actually quite an impact on the way that we go about things and the mindset that we have. I think that using the term minimalism kind of shifts the focus towards getting rid of belongings, trying to have as little as possible, sometimes just for the sake of having as little as possible, and maybe it distracts a little bit from the broader picture. So when you talk about simplicity, I think it puts your focus back onto other topics, such as, do I enjoy my work? Do I enjoy the hobbies that I'm doing, or am I doing them for some other reason? But it also lets you look at your possessions to think about maybe if you could own a little bit less, would that improve your quality of life? And although it's no concrete experiment or measure, I think what's really interesting is if you go ahead to Google and put in minimalism and see what comes up, you'll see lots of pristine white surfaces with a few objects. But then go ahead and search simplicity or simple living, and instead what you'll find is people outdoors enjoying their life. Maybe I think there was a guy who was sitting in a small room with a few objects, but the aesthetic is completely different. And if anything, I just think this shows the difference in the mindset that these two terms create. So anyway, from now on I'm going to be using the word simplicity or simple or anything along those lines, but many of you might know it as minimalism. Just to give you guys a little bit of background to why simple living is important to me. For me, it started back in university. I studied here in London, and I've lived in the city for about 4 or 5 years now. And in that time, I've lived in as many flats as that. So it was a lot of moving around for me. And it must have been by about the 3rd move that I really started questioning, could things be a bit easier? Why do I have so much stuff in my life that I have to keep moving around? And it was really about that point 2 years ago or so that I started to look at my things and ask, could I have a little bit less? Could I maybe get rid of some of the things that I have? And so that's kind of where it started for me. And so I've been on this journey for a little while now, but what I'd like to do in this part of the channel is to continue that journey and to show you how I'm getting along with that. Just before I get started on what exact content I'm going to have in this channel for you, some of you might be interested in this topic and interested in learning a little bit more about it. And so you might be asking, do I have any book recommendations, any website recommendations? And yes, I do. But before I give you that, I'd like to just say that on any topic that you're interested in, I think the best way to learn about it is just go ahead, search on Google, search on Amazon, search on any other retailer of books for that topic that you're interested in. And I'd really recommend just go ahead, do that for yourself so that you can see the descriptions, you can see the reviews and see what might fit into your idea of simplicity best. But now that I've said that, there is one book that I'd recommend, and that is Simplicity by Joshua Becker. The reason I recommend this is that after reading this book, I noticed that Joshua was able to say in about a quarter of the word what pretty much every other author on this topic is saying. So if you're really into minimalism and simplicity, then start by thinking about how short the book is, and that's a good way to start on your journey. Now straight on to the actual content I'll be having for you guys on this channel, or this section of the channel rather. And it's going to be 2 different types of videos. So similarly to the living sustainably section on my channel, where I'm going to have vlogs where I describe the ways that I'm changing my behaviors and the products that I buy and why I'm doing that, I'm going to have very similar videos in this section where you might follow me around in a vlog where I'm describing why I'm changing the way I do things, Maybe I'll be changing the way that I cook food, the way that I exercise. I'll be changing some part of my life in a direction of simplicity. And the second type of video is going to be concentrating on the traditional aspect of minimalism or simplicity. And that is about reducing the amount of belongings I have. Like I said earlier, I think I've already started on this, but I have a little bit of way to go. And to share this part of my journey with you, I'm going to have what I call kind of possession reviews or belonging reviews. And I'll be bringing these out maybe every 1 or 2 months for you. And what I'll do is I'll look through all my belongings, I'll show you everything I have, and I'll question why I have everything. And also, just in that review, tell you about why I might have changed something. So during that last month or two, I might have got rid of 1 or 2 things. I might have substituted something for something else. And I'll just let you know why I've made that change and why that's made my life a little bit better. So for me, simplicity is about getting rid of the things that are not necessary in my life and getting rid of the things that are getting in the way of the things that I enjoy doing. And although a part of that is reducing the amount of belongings I have, that's not the only part for me. And so I'll bring you 2 types of videos. One where I talk about things that I'm changing in my life generally to make it simpler. And on the other hand, I will be looking at my possessions and seeing if there are things that I could take away. But really, for now, that is it. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you.